Hello and welcome, I'm Raziel. Now, I wish to talk about the Fallout games today. I've said I've wanted to get into video games for a while. I have a Kings of War review coming up this week, but I do want to talk about Fallout today. I want to talk about video games because there is something I wanted to talk about because when it comes to Fallout, the biggest discussion we get is which one is the best. Now, it's kind of weird with Fallout. Now, I'm not going to include the first two because, well, they're good games. However, they kind of do the same thing. First one is good, 2 does it better, and it's not just really the same side of a kettle of fish as, say, 3, 4, and New Vegas. I'm going to ignore 76 entirely because, well, I don't think you could even put that in discussion. First things first, the isometric style of Fallout 1 and 2 isn't bad. They are fun games. I really enjoy playing 2. That's out of those two is my favourite. But I can understand why people might not want to play them. They are old games and they do look old and the mechanics are old. And it can really stymie the conversation of which one's the best when there are very objective points on why they're not the best. And that's it. Anyway, so I do want to talk about the best of ones, and like I said, 3 New Vegas and number 4, because when you want to talk about which one's the best, the problem is with the Fallout series is they're not the same game. They're not even in the same genre of game. Now, it sounds really weird to say that. They're all technically RPGs, role-playing games, but they are so different in their styles and mannerisms. They are very, very different games, and I can see why some people like Fallout 3 the best. I can see why people like New Vegas the best. And I can see why people think Fallout 4 is the best. Okay? I can understand the point of view they're coming from because it's the style of game they are. Oh, style of games they are, I should say. Now, let's talk about Fallout 3 first. Fallout 3 is a sandbox game. And look, I know they're all open world sandbox games, but Fallout 3 is the most definitive Fallout sandbox game. Okay, there are no blocks due to your level from the gate. It's there. You're thrown out straight away into this world, and you can just do whatever you want. You can go wherever you please, and there isn't going to be any nasty high-level enemies around the corner ready to just tear you apart. That's not going to happen in Fallout 3. And this is what the game's about. It's a sandbox game built for exploration. The story, from every time I played it, the story kind of takes a second seat to the exploration. You are constantly rewarded for going out and exploring. You find new people, you find new stories, you find new places. Everything is interesting and you always get something out of it. You might get a nice little mission or a hidden objective or just a nice cool weapon just for exploring Fallout 3. And that's what the game is. The game is an exploration sandbox game with RPG elements. There is a story, but it's pretty paper thin. We know what it is. Go and find your dad and clean the water. That's the story. But what makes Fallout 3 really good isn't that quest line. It's all the other quest lines that you get, like the Replicated Man, which most people complete by accident. It's, Oasis. It's, what's one I like as well? Three Dogs 1. Like, the fact is, you're so rewarded for exploration. If you go to Free Dog after finding your dad, like, you've done that bit first. Like, you didn't go to Free Dog, you found your dad, you went to the garage and that vault, and, you rescue him. You go to Free Dog, he still gives you the mission to explore. And you're not going to miss out because you did something first. And not only that, the Pip-Boy. And this is something I think is kind of cool, and it really does show you why it's designed for exploration. That when you leave the vault and you go to, Springfield. I'm going to say Springfield. And you got your Pip-Boy on, you listen to Free Dog and with all the static. You will hear him say that your dad has seen him. So you know where he is. You don't even have to go to Megaton to learn this out. Just by exploring, you actually get told where your dad has been, so you know who to speak to. You don't have to do Megaton at all. And then you have Moira Brown's missions. Again, everything is designed around you exploring the wasteland and getting as much out of it. Finding the bobbleheads, finding decent power armor out there. Just, it's so fun to explore. And that is what makes Fallout 3 the best, in my opinion. So that's why I like it so much. It's because of the level of exploration you get in it. Now, Fallout New Vegas, again, it's a good game. It is really enjoyable, but it's not the same as Fallout 3. To say that it's not even the same genre, in my opinion, because where Fallout 3 is an exploration game, a game for exploring with RPG elements, Fallout New Vegas is an RPG. It's very much an RPG. It's got a very definitive story. It's a very good story. But it really wants to tell its story. I just said story 3 times, and that's what it is. But it wants you to tell this story in your way. You can be one of the 4 factions. NCR, Legion, Yes Man, House, and you get to do it your way. But it wants you to tell. It wants this story told. That's what it's all about. Even if you get the DLC cannot be finished after the game. After you've defeated the Legate Lanius, you cannot do the DLC. That's it. Game over. You're done. Story's been told. And that's good, because that's what an RPG should do. A game based on exploration, the DLC should be able to be done afterwards. A game where it's very much a role-playing game and it's got a story to tell, the DLC should be done within the game, and that's what makes New Vegas good. Because of that, exploration in New Vegas is probably the worst out of the 3. It's very boring. It's lots of sand, and you can be locked out of missions. And there's nothing really there to explore. There are lots of little side quests, but you find a lot of these side quests are tied to the story. The Boomers, the guys at Gamora, the Ultralocks, all of those are still tied to the story. There's very few missions which aren't connected to the story in some way. And even if they are, they're connected to the factions that you want to help. Going to Jacob's town, and you have Doc Henry there. He's trying to help this Nightkin, and you find out that finally he's actually part of the Enclave, which helps you in the final battle. It doesn't matter which side you take, the Enclave can help you. I know there's something you can't, but you see what I mean. Same with the Great Khans. They will still help you with the fight. That's the thing about it. Most of the side missions are tied to the main story because it wants to tell this story. That's what makes it a fantastic RPG. But for exploration reasons, that's not so good. And also, those who know, the I-15 is locked off from the start. You can't really go north straight to the strip. You have Deathclaws and Castadors and massive giant rad scorpions that way. You're going to get wrecked if you go that way. It's telling you which way to go. Fallout 3, exploration, go wherever you want. Fallout New Vegas, go this way. You have to go this way. It's not a bad thing, because that's what an RPG should be. You should be having to level up to go to certain areas, to continue the story, to drive it on. That's what makes it a good RPG. Now, finally, Fallout 4. Now, Fallout 4, once again, is a completely different game. It's still an RPG, kind of, and you still got to do the missions for each one, and it still wants to tell a story, very much like New Vegas. If you want to do Brotherhood of Steel, if you want to do the Railroad, if you want to do the Minutemen. But you can actually do the Minutemen, and you can do 2 factions, by the way. It's kind of cool. And, or if you want to be the Institute. And they all kind of culminate to the same point. Either way, someone's going to get blown up. And the Railroad's probably going to get wrecked anyway. But no one cares about the Railroad. But here's the thing. Fallout 4 is a first-person shooter. And that's it. I'm not saying this is a bad thing. Exploration isn't as rewarded as in Fallout 3. You're guided down this storyline. You're just constantly railroaded in very linear storytelling, and that's what from the start. That's what you got to do. Go to Sanctuary, help the Minutemen. Go to Diamond City, get Piper, go to see Nick Valentine, kill Kellogg. It's all linear. And there's nothing really kind of any reason to explore. You don't find really any cool little extra side quests like you do in Fallout 3. You don't find very many unmarked locations. It's there to be a shooter. You shoot and you shoot and you shoot some more. It's got RPG elements, don't get me wrong, but it's a shooter. Now that's what, and even the DLC does that. This is what the problem with the Fallout discussion is. Because when you discuss Fallout, especially the Professor ones, which one's the best? It's always going to be dependent on what you're getting, what you want to get out of the game. If you want to get a game where it's lots of exploration, you just want to go out, you wander and just see new things, Fallout 3. If you want a fantastic storyline, go to New Vegas. If you just want to shoot things in the face, Fallout 4. And that's it. So when it comes to which one's the best, it's which one does it best suit you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you wish to, buy the Fallout War a tabletop game, which is absolutely fun, there is Wayland Games down below. And you get some money off, it's up to 20% off, and free delivery off to £20. And yes, they do ship into America. There is also for Wayland Planet for comics, DVDs, mangas, etc, etc, etc. There's my comics, my merchandise as well. There is also Skyforge, a good friend of mine. Give him a click, get him up the Google algorithm, and finally Patreon because business. Bye bye.